Hi, welcome to Three Spots on Stage. I'm Tim Van Bruggen, your host, and we have taken a field trip today to True Gem Productions in their studio in Holland, and we're speaking with the director of Cotton Patch Gospel, Joellen Ming. How are you doing, Joellen?
Doing great. It's great to have you here.
So good to be talking to you, and I'm so glad that you're directing this production, as people will probably learn why in a minute. This is Joellen's first production directing with Master Arts, but she's been very involved in the West Michigan theater scene for a long, long time. So Joellen, can you tell us a little bit about your background in theater and what you've been up to?
Absolutely. I started by being in the audience many, many years ago, and as a child just fell in love with the art of theater. And then in high school got involved doing shows. Then later on, when my kids were little, I actually started directing children's choirs in church. And I wanted to do more than just sing on a Sunday morning, so we started doing musicals, and those turned into quite large productions. And then from there, I got involved with Holland Civic Theater in the Holland area, and then also in church theaters doing productions. And so, like 30 years later, I don't even remember how many productions I've done at this point, but it's been 30 years, and it's been a great ride.
Now, when did you start True Gem, your own theater?
I started that almost exactly 5 years ago. In a week, we'll be 5 years old.
Oh, congratulations.
All right, thank you, yes. After many years, again, of sort of dabbling in it as a volunteer, I thought, I'd like to try that out, own my own company, and try doing some shows that I've always wanted to do. So I did, and here I am 5 years later. We're still going strong.
Now, you're directing Cotton Patch Gospel, but this is not the first time you've directed this show. Can you tell us a little bit about your background with this show in particular?
Well, first of all, I love Harry Chapin, and he wrote the lyrics and the music to this piece. So part of it is I always loved Harry Chapin. When I was at Hope College, they did a production of Cotton Patch Gospel, and I was in the audience. And I fell in love with the piece, and particularly because it was music by Harry. And I thought, someday I really want to direct that. That was on my bucket list of shows to direct. So I've directed it for a community theater. I've directed it at a church. And when I heard Master Arts was doing it and they were looking for a director, I was like, I love the show. So I absolutely wanted to sign on again.
Cool. Now, what is it about Cotton Patch Gospel, besides maybe the music by Harry Chapin? What is it about this show that makes you love it so much, that makes you keep coming back to it?
I think the way that Clarence Jordan, who wrote Cotton Patch Gospels, he wrote that version of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, just the way he tried to put it into the contemporary language of the time, and even past the language, maybe the more political scene at the time. He was in Georgia, and there was a lot of racial tension. It was in the 70s. And so he wrote those Gospels as if they were happening right there and then in southern Georgia in the 1970s. And just the way he takes a look at common day situations and applies it to what the Gospels say is just very interesting to me. And I think it makes people think about it differently. But on the same note, even though you're thinking really deeply, there's this wonderful simplicity to the way Clarence Jordan writes it. And so I love that.
So you've been working with the cast now for a few weeks. We're going to be opening soon. What is something that you could tell the folks who are going to come see the show to keep their eye out for?
I would say heart. I think this group of people has embraced the style of music. They've embraced the story. And they are putting their whole hearts into it. And I see that rehearsal after rehearsal, just this deep commitment to tell this story.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Joellen, for talking with us today, and congratulations on the show. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic one, being a part of it. I hope so. And tickets are now on sale for Cotton Patch Gospel, so you can call us at 455-1001 or go online to masterarts.org, and you're going to want to get your tickets now because they're going fast. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time on stage.